Monday Night Raw is coming to you live from New Orleans tonight. We're on the road to Money in the Bank, almost there, just 6 days away. So come right back and let's talk about it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, so good. This is my absolute #1 favorite theme song of all time. We're on the road to Money in the Bank. Tonight was the Go Home Raw. But you know, as much as I love that song that they use, this is the real money song, guys. If you're talking money, you're talking $1 Million Man, you're talking Ted DiBiase, you're talking this song. Guys, welcome to the Monday Night Raw After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Johnny LaQuasto is over on the East Coast right now. He will be right back here next week, but in his stead is 2/3 of the squad right here with you. My name is Ty Matthews. Y'all can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. Aside me, as always, my lovely, lovely, talented co-host. She's a comedian improviser. You can find her on social media at Markeia McCarty. Make sure you know how to spell it, guys. This is Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, it's Markeia McCarty. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and Snapchat at Darth Thinmints.
There you go. And you were snapping right up until the last possible second.
I was, absolutely.
We're getting in a little bit late. We know. It's fine. It's all right.
We're still going to talk. It's still going to happen.
There's still talking to be had. There's still talking to be done. This is the Go Home Raw for Money in the Bank. We got this going. We're coming to you from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, episode 1203 of WWE Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
Let's get into it, guys. We start a moment of silence for those that we lost in Orlando over the weekend. Obviously, there's not a whole lot we can say that hasn't already been said. Our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences are to everyone whose friends, family have been affected by this tragedy. Not a whole lot I can add to this. If you're in the Orlando area, please go out, donate blood, all that stuff. There's definite need for blood. If you're out there, do what you can. All we can do is just try to stay strong, try to keep on with the show. Whether or not you think it must go on, it does go on, and as long as the show goes on, we'll be here to talk about it.
Yeah. Orlando is my hometown. So a lot of emotions, a lot of things involved with this. I just want to say that I've also seen a lot of pictures and Instagram Instagram video and talked to a lot of my friends that are in Orlando now, and it's amazing how the community has just jumped on this.
Yeah.
I've been to Pulse. Who hasn't?
Right.
It's a really great club, and it's absolutely devastating what happened. I'm really glad that they took a moment at the beginning of this Raw to recognize with that. Definitely.
And yeah, it's, if nothing else, the WWE is the definition of the show must go on, and the show does, because these are the best entertainers on the planet. So let's talk about what they do best, entertain y'all and us on the road to Money in the Bank. We start out, of course, who better to lighten the mood than the New Day themselves. Let's keep Ted DiBiase going. I like that. New Day, there we go.
There it is.
Get it. There we go. New Day, I love when the New Day busts on each other, and especially when they team up on Kofi. He's got his orthopedies, his Metamucil Sixes.
I know, he's got his old man shoes on. I mean, I've seen those shoes. Those shoes are at all of my family reunions. Those shoes are playing dominoes.
Those curries, though. He's got them. He's got them curries. But of course, it's like a dream match. It's like a verbal dream match, because Enzo and Cass are next out, and they start snapping on the New Day, talking about stirring the pot with these rumors about Francesca, about these supposed infidelities.
They went to town with Francesca, and that was bad. That was wrong of them.
That is.
And and I have to, I love that Xavier stepped up and mean mugged about as much as you can if you have a unicorn horn on your head and you're talking about a trombone.
It's serious business, guys. You can mess with a lot of things. You don't mess with a man's trombone, especially when it's someone like Francesca too.
Yeah,
the second one.
I know. Don't mess with Franny.
But I mean, a lot of
and then also, let me just say, It's New Orleans.
New Orleans.
So Franny can cut loose a little bit. Like Xavier said, she is an independent trombone.
She can do what she wants.
And they have their own thing, and they understand. Nobody else understands.
And Xavier makes it a point to remind Enzo and Cass that he's the only one that gets to blow his girl. So,
yeah.
you know.
Woo.
It is what it is. It's fine.
I'm telling
It's
you.
Bourbon Street is the Big Easy.
There was a lot of strength in that statement, too.
A lot of conviction.
He was this close to Super Saiyan.
A lot of
this
conviction.
close.
That close.
This close
Almost.
to it.
Almost.
Yeah.
But we find out Francesca, too, is no saint, as we are in New Orleans.
Well, no one's a saint in New Orleans.
But of course, before they can really come to the verbal blows and really give us a talk off of epic proportions, we get the New Day. Sorry, we get the vaudevillains interrupting the proceedings
and singing,
and we get a little bit of that beautiful, beautiful Aiden English singing voice. Whoa. One of my fondest memories of old school NXT, the singer Aiden English just busting out those pipes, laying claim to their future as WWE champions. But before they can even get any further,
I liked it though, because it was just like, hey, we're seeing much more of that personality.
Exactly.
They're not just these hyenas that are running after the kill is done and going for the carcass. Like, no, okay, predators.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. There you go. But amidst all of the hijinks, amidst all of the fun and games, of course, we get the club. We get Gallows and Anderson just kind of killing everyone's buzz, pooping on the party, as we'll get to later. Basically, they say, we hate to be the fun police. And of course, they correct themselves because that's what they love. They love being the fun police. And they say there's only going to be one team standing at Money in the Bank. They go after some cheap heat, insulting the local sports teams. New Orleans Saints.
What?
The cheapest heat, 80s style heat.
Like, enough hasn't happened to New Orleans.
Right?
They don't need smack talk from, Gallows and Anderson.
No. Jimbo, do you got Teddy queued up? Real quick, because I know we're gonna get it. There we go.
Did he?
There we go. We'll get to that because
prepared.
Because bridging the gap, as we always do from this opening segment, we have a tag team match. Holla. We get 8-man tag team action, player. We get Enzo, Cass, and the New Day taking on the club and the Vaudevillains. We find out that the New Day are only 1 month away from tying the record set by Paul London and Brian Kendrick. Their record stands at 334 days.
They're 1 month away, but they are 1 week away from Money in the Bank. From this,
It's close.
No.
And they've got
so close.
As Kofi said, they've got not 1, not 2, but 3 teams to defend against.
Oh, no.
When they defend against all of the teams involved in this match, Enzo and Cass, the club, and the Vaudevillains. But one of the things that I loved about this tag team match, I mentioned the things that I loved about old school NXT and old school Aiden English, and we saw a little bit of that in this match when Aiden English pushed Simon Gotch out of the way and sacrificed himself, taking that crossbody off the top rope.
Nice.
Like, they're bad guys.
Yeah.
Of course, they're villains.
But they're a tag team.
But they're a team.
They know how to work together.
They're friends. They'll sacrifice themselves for one another.
Hup.
Exactly. It's that old-timey values that they so believe in coming through.
Yeah, that part of the old-timey values.
Exactly.
We'll focus on that.
We get an incredible dive from Kofi Kingston, clearing the ring post.
That was amazing. I was like, yeah, you've got some spring in your step with your old man shoes.
Kofi may be the elder statesman of the New Day, but he can still get it done.
They might need to check those shoes. They might be spring-loaded.
Right? And these didn't even have the wings on him. These weren't even the wing shoes, and he's still flying.
He's got flubber shoes.
There you go.
Oh my God,
there you
flubber.
go, Jimbo. It's not even Lucha Underground, and we're busting out the obscure references. We get a whole melee full of chaos. We get a big boot from Cass, a missile drop kick from Aiden English, a belly-to-belly from Big E on the outside.
Yeah.
But amidst all of the shenanigans and goings-on, we get the club hitting the Magic Killer on Kofi Kingston for the win.
Yeah, I mean, between Kofi and then, oh my God, Big Cass, like, tapped into that beast anger again.
Oh yeah.
You know, because he saw Enzo getting oh god, Enzo. Okay, when they were doing the unicorn stampede, like in the corner, and the trombone's going, and Enzo's doing a Running Man, or something on the apron. I was like, oh my god, can we
shuffle?
Can we have like a 5-man tag team? Right? Can that happen?
I really thought during the stampede we were gonna get more of the shmoney dance.
Oh,
see, Enzo loves doing that shmoney dance, guys. Thought I was gonna see more of that.
Yeah, you see that his little pongtail bouncing, and he's all excited.
Exactly.
It's like you get excited because oh my god. Yeah, but got Kofi, and then that belly to belly with Big E on the outside. I was like, ooh, don't get up from that. You just need to stay down.
Just chill. Stay down. Just take a chill pill. Aiden.
Yeah, it's like you earned that lay down.
Exactly.
It's like, all right.
Exactly. Next up, we get one of a few Shield video packages over the course of the night, because tonight on the Ambrose Asylum, we will see Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. We'll see a little temporary Shield reunion. So over the course of the night, we get a little bit of peek at the history of the Shield. We get a look at their debut from Survivor Series when they triple powerbombed Ryback through the announce table, and nobody had a clue who any of them were that didn't watch NXT.
No, it was fantastic. It was like all that. Do we have any Shield music that we can?
Let's get some Shield music.
I know, but it's like it was that nostalgia. It was that hit. It was kind of like, oh, when you heard that music for the promo, you like automatically be like, are they going to show the crowd? Are they coming? It's like, what's going on? And and also it's because that could never happen again. Those three, it can't be. I'm sorry.
I'm holding out hope. Never say never.
Ambrose called him scum of the earth.
He did. He did.
I mean,
weirder things have happened.
You don't jump out of a giant gift box for just anybody.
This is true.
I'll see you in the parking lot, but you don't tell them that because you see them in the parking lot. So.
Oh, such good stuff. We'll get to more Shield antics later on. Next up, we get D. Young and Bobby B talking about making Darren Young great again. Bob Backlund's lesson for him tonight is to save his money. Bob Backlund has one set of clothes. And that's it. And that's how he saves money. He seems like a frugal man, really.
Yeah.
He seems like, he knows how to make $1 last.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say one thing. If it's good enough for a Time Lord, then bow tie and suspenders are good enough for him.
Absolutely. He suggests a bow tie to really set off D. Young's ensemble.
Yeah. There you go. You just need one suit.
I love it. I love it. Backstage, we get the McMahon siblings reunited again after Shane was on vacation last week, or so Stephanie said. We realized that wasn't completely truthful, but she just didn't know. She just said, I don't know where you went. He had things to do. He's talking about how Steph laid claim to SmackDown in his absence.
That's true. She definitely did last week.
And he's got a surprise for her. He's got Corporate Kane.
Yeah. We had a nice little bit of nostalgia and like little flashbacks. I mean, everything from Sheamus's mohawk. Totally missed that. Nah.
Sure.
Hey, he's a heel. I get it.
Exactly.
Heels have mohawks. But yeah, him and Business Suit Kane, Corporate Kane is back and being as smarmy as he's ever been.
Oh, absolutely. Offering his services for the role of General Manager of SmackDown. Showing the McMahons his resume, his curriculum vitae, if you will.
It's like with Devil's Advocate. The devil's also a lawyer.
Exactly.
So, of course, this demon is also a Corporate King.
One part of the segment that I was glossed over that I really wanted more attention paid to is the fact that he had a letter of recommendation from The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have...
Yeah, he did.
I was dying to see what that said. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that Corporate Kane just forged it. And so even more than a letter of recommendation from The Undertaker, what I want to see is a letter of recommendation pretending to be from The Undertaker by Corporate Kane.
No, I want a letter of recommendation from Undertaker because it's just handprints of different people's blood.
Right. There's blood.
Yeah. Well, if he can do the Tombstone Pile Driver, that he's in good.
Sure.
He's in good with Undertaker. I think if anybody else tries that, Undertaker will just appear and be like, what?
Exactly. He's got that permission. They're brothers. It's fine. Elsewhere backstage, we see Zack Ryder joking around, being all jovial with people about Sheamus, about how scared he was of Apollo Crews.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Sheamus shows up, and he is not amused. Thinks that is not very funny. He says that at Money in the Bank, Apollo Crews is one bro kick away from being a joke. And then Zack Ryder hits him with one of the oldest tricks in the book. Says, "Oh, hey, Apollo." And Sheamus is shook up. Sheamus is real shook.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Because, Sheamus, when you think about it, he's just kind of hit Apollo out of nowhere. And Apollo's like, hey, dude, what's going on? This is weird. I'm here to do me.
Right here,
I'm here to, smile my $1 million smile, do my flippies, and, win some matches.
Exactly.
And Sheamus is like, oh, no, you're part of the new school. I'm old school.
Right.
You don't know this.
I can't do any flippies.
Mohawk.
Right.
So, yeah, it put a little bit more for me for that whole Sheamus Apollo thing. Before then, I was like, all right. I get why they're doing this.
Sure.
I wish I had more of a, background or backstory. Not everything can be Zayn and KO.
Right.
I understand and
exactly.
recognize that. But still, you got to feed me something meaty.
Sure.
So, yeah, I can go with just a whole grudge thing against the whole era, but focusing in on Apollo because he thinks he can take him.
He's just Clint Eastwood telling Apollo to get off his lawn. That's what it is.
He's the other cranky paws.
Dern kids, exactly. And exactly, now that you mention
Irish cranky paws.
Both him and Kofi are from the ECW on Sci-Fi era. For all you Mike Adamle fans out there, Jamaican me crazy, Kofi. But we do find out that Sheamus versus Apollo Crews is a lock for the pre-show this Sunday at Money in the Bank from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
It'll be good stuff.
Yeah, I like the next match where, not to go ahead too much.
Sure.
I enjoyed that bit of thing that happens in the next match.
Exactly. Right, real quick before that, we get another Shield package. We get a Shining Stars package, which I absolutely love. I just want to see more of these, just for, indefinitely. They say, we take care of our island. You don't have to wade through beer cans or cigarette butts when you're walking on the beach.
And you know what? They kind of have a point because I'm Florida, so our beaches are beautiful. Pensacola, Coca-Cola Beach.
Sure.
One day it will be Coca-Cola Beach. Oh my God. Coco. And then I came here out, to LA, and it's just like, these aren't the greatest beaches. They're kind of gray,
right?
And cold.
That's a good way to describe them. It's gray, yeah.
Yeah, and then hearing about Puerto Rico, and it's like, we have hibiscus.
Oh, they're hibiscus
helps with
flowers.
Depression, and drink our alcohol, and we have the beautiful beaches, the beautiful people. It's like, all right, Shining Star.
There you go. We see you. Yeah. Next up, as you were alluding to, we get Titus O'Neil out for what was supposed to be a one-on-one match. Doesn't quite end up that way because Rusev Crush from behind just attacks him, hits that big old leaping sidekick, puts him in the Accolade.
And wouldn't let go for nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. I was like, all right, it's bad enough that you just hit this man in the back of his aura. And it's just, man,
how dare you?
He just went crazy. And you saw Lana in the back, drinking it up, holding United States Championship, yes, this is how we do.
Right, exactly.
It's like, you do not want any of this.
And they mentioned on commentary that this is the first time that Titus will be getting an opportunity at a singles title.
Which is ridiculous.
And that is bonkers to me.
That is ridiculous.
Because my man has been here 6 years, I think.
Yeah, since main event.
Game show NXT.
It's like for certain wrestlers, there is whatever that whole paying the dues amount is that people can agree on.
Right.
Like with Sheamus, who was saying, I've been here 4 years. I'm sorry, not Sheamus, Cesaro.
Cesaro, yeah.
I've been here for 4 years, been here for 4 months. You kind of have to times that by 1.5 for certain wrestlers.
Right.
So... when was the last time Naomi had a shot at... Oh, I'm sorry. That's something else completely.
Right.
Oh, that's just bringing up a whole other can of worms.
Oh, man. She is her at the moment, but...
I know,
but definitely true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Titus O'Neil, I mean, he was a tag team specialist for a long time. He had a singles run in the middle. There's a bit of Slater Gator, which is great.
Oh, they chased... what was it? Rose. They chased Rose's rabbit, that big rabbit. That was a thing. Oh, wrestling.
Wrestling is...
I love you.
We love you, and sometimes we love you not so much. Hey, come on.
Oh, well,
Come
no,
on,
we were
Jimbo.
totally on.
Don't you dare.
We were on
Don't
track.
you dare.
We're just bringing up stuff that pertains to
We
now.
get another Shield package looking at that bitter breakup from already 2 years ago. It's already been 2 years since Seth Rollins went crazy. There you go.
Aw.
There you go.
Oh,
Love it. And just, I cannot
can
believe
see it.
it's already been that long since, he went to town on him with a steel chair. And since we've gotten the glory of wife beater Dean Ambrose and the guy Roman Reigns, who was the one to retain the gear and the music and all that good stuff. But we will get a temporary reunion of them later on in the show. Right up next, we've got the Ambrose Asylum featuring the two men in this Sunday's main event. The champion Roman Reigns taking on the challenger that never lost the title, Seth Rollins.
that's right. Was it a linear title? Is that
Yes.
what they call it? Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be something. Okay, we'll just talk about this segment.
Sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this because it was about the camaraderie. It was, hey, first off, it's like, hey, scum of the earth, Rollins,
Right.
And then, your current WWE champion, Reigns, and then having them all in there, and Ambrose he was like a kid in a candy store.
Right.
He's like, I'm down for anything. Whatever happens, I'm good.
Absolutely.
And then kind of prodding Rollins a bit, both for the, hey, you remember when you weren't a total, D-bag?
Yeah, we got a little trip down memory lane. We got reminiscence of WrestleMania 30, of the time they came down in a friggin' helicopter to face Team Hell No and The Undertaker.
Oh, man. And you knew, when that music hit, no matter what match was going on, you start looking around everywhere.
That's your ass. Yep.
Yeah, because Shield is coming for you.
Exactly.
And then to have the three of them, in that in the ring together, it was just like, man, I miss you.
I know it.
I miss you. Well, I'm glad Rollins is back.
Of course.
We have the architect, so let's see what he's gonna build,
Right.
what he's gonna reclaim.
There you go.
As it is.
So yeah, as this goes on, we see a face-to-face between Rollins and Reigns. We see kind of a face-to-face between Ambrose and Reigns.
Yeah.
Rollins pushes Dean to kind of instigate, as he loves to do. We see a big old melee between the three of them, a Superman punch to Rollins, and then a dirty deeds to Reigns.
It was such a nice dirty deeds.
And it was gorgeous. There are no ooses in this situation. No ooses.
Well, no, you don't need a oos.
Nope.
Not in that situation.
Nope, because as Dean Ambrose points out, we very well could see a cash-in during the main event. We could see a triple threat between the Shield. Who knows?
And how awesome would that be with having, Reigns and Rollins, and then you have Ambrose just in the background. We already know that, he's the Joker. He's crazy.
Just lurking.
If he has that Money in the Bank suitcase, it's like, is he going to cash it in right away, or is he going to wait? Because, he doesn't have a whole lot with impulse control.
Right.
Yeah, his
exactly.
impulse control meter is pretty low. I mean, you don't want a Sandow situation with the Money in the Bank, suitcase where it's just like, all right, dude, what are you doing?
Well, you had a good run.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. I enjoy you. We're just going to leave that there. But, man, if you hold on to that suitcase for one more week.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, Ambrose wouldn't be like that. But I also think he probably wouldn't be that smart with cashing it in either. It probably would just be like, I want to fight now.
I got it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
maybe
bell.
at the beginning of the match. It's like, no. You need to wait.
That sounds like something that R-Truth would do.
Archer.
Just cash it in when they're fresh and overpowered.
Yeah. It's like, I'm in on this.
Right,
Like, no,
exactly.
baby, sit down.
You're doing it wrong, man.
It's like, where's Goldust? Let him talk you down.
Exactly. Speaking of which, go to WWE Shop. There's an incredible new Golden Truth shirt that's like very Step Brothers style.
Really?
And kind of posing together in like a family photo. It's weird, but it's awesome. Like the best shirts. Super weird.
And does Breeze Dango have a shirt
Not
yet?
quite yet, I don't think. Let's get it.
Because I think it needs to have their beautiful mugs on that. Maybe one shaving the other's back.
Exactly. If they were just called Febreze, that would lend itself to a whole new slew of shirt ideas.
And including being sued.
Exactly. That also. They know about that. Pabst Blue Ribbon, ease up.
El Torito and Fandango were both company names.
This is true. You know what? You have a point, Jimbo. When you're right, you're right. Backstage, we've got Dean Ambrose with Stephanie McMahon, and we talked about smarminess before. Steph's just as smarmy as ever. She said he talks about sensing a lot of hatred in her, and she says, it could be a good thing if you know what to do with it. And she makes tonight's main event, Dean Ambrose taking on Chris Jericho one-on-one, first time ever on Raw. We've only seen it in PPV scenarios previously.
Ooh.
Yep, so this will be their first encounter on Monday Night Raw. Going to ringside, we've got Natty and Becky Lynch on commentary for a non-title match, Charlotte taking on Paige one-on-one.
Yeah, I would have loved some more commentary from the both of them because... I mean, when was the last time we had that?
Right.
Natty and Becky at one time, I would have liked a little bit more back and forth.
A lot of guest commentators tonight.
Yeah. I like it when they have that, but I would always love for the guest commentators to be able to get more in.
Right.
Because it's like their personalities, and now we have them on the mic, and let's hear it.
Right, exactly.
Let's hear all that trash talk and everything.
We need more puns from Becky Lynch.
Yeah, although we do know that, was it Natty or Becky that her cat is on Instagram? So now I have to find that. I have to find that now.
Yeah, I think it might be Becky, but I'm
going to have to replay that.
As we know, Tyson Kidd loves his cats, so their cats are probably on social media too. This match doesn't go too long. We see Dana Brooke rolls Charlotte into the ring, maybe before she's ready, because she catches a big old super kick to the face, followed by a rampage for the win from Paige.
Yeah. Wow. It's tough. It's tough being a champion and then having the people under. It's hard to find good help these days.
Exactly.
I really enjoyed the beginning of this match because Charlotte busting out with Paige's, slogan, like, "This is my house." Right. Like, whoa, that's bold. Especially since it's basically you. I mean, you have Dana in a way. She's outside of the ring. Do you really have her?
Right.
And it's like you're strutting around like a champion. Taunting like a champion, which I like, but then she also got her ish handed to her by another champion who probably would love to have that women's championship.
Of course.
Right around her waist.
Oh, that super kick. She clobbered her with that super kick. That was amazing. And the rampage is one of my favorite finishers.
Yeah, it's like, you like shoes? Here's one.
Exactly. There you go.
I like that. I miss this. I miss Paige in general.
Right?
So... it was good to see her back. I actually liked this dynamic that they did with having the other two. And I'm missing Sasha. Still missing her.
Of course. Of course.
Still want her back.
There was a heartbreaking statistic online. Did you read it?
No.
Sasha Banks has more shirts on WWE Shop than she's had matches on Raw this year.
Oh.
That's a rough stat. It's a rough stat. Hopefully we can turn that around soon.
Hope they do, because people love the boss.
Absolutely, of course. Backstage, we've got Renee Young standing by with Cesaro. Sami Zayn interrupts kind of as politely as Sami Zayn can. He's like, I figured, since we're both in this match, you wanted both of us here, so I'm just going to stick around here. And Cesaro does not take kindly to that. They may both be fan favorites, but Cesaro compares Sami Zayn to that friend that you have that just walks into your house, sits down on your couch, takes off his shoes, puts his feet up on the table.
For some reason, when I saw this, when it's like, okay, this is supposed to be a Cesaro interview, and then Zayn comes in, and he's not a bad guy, but it's kind of like, do you remember Gumby, where he just go into people's houses? And it's just like, hey, he's not a bad guy. Wasn't Gumby Canadian too? I don't know. That's something to Google.
I love that reference, though.
It's like he just comes in and is like,
what a
hey,
great comparison.
What's going on? I'm here to hang out. We're like,
just kicking it. All right, man.
All right, we were in the middle of dinner, Gumby.
I mean, nobody invited you, but I guess pull up a chair.
I guess we can play some bocce ball.
But yeah, we get, you mentioned that quote earlier. Cesaro says, look, I've been here 4 years. You've been here 4 months. You've still got a lot to prove. So why don't you start tonight? Because we've got one-on-one action between Cesaro and Sami Zayn later on tonight, which is always a treat.
Yeah, and I did like that because, sometimes people forget because, these wrestlers have this wealth of this history of wressling before they actually get to WWE with like AJ Styles, with Sami Zayn, oh my God, El Generico, but it's like for them actually being on there, it's like you can start to be, hey, why don't they have a belt on yet? They need to have a belt on. Oh wait, they've been there 4 months. They've been there 4 months.
Right.
It's like not everything can be Paige just running into the door, winning at that time Diva Championship. So it can't be that.
Right.
We have to have some payoff.
Got to work to it, guys. Yeah.
This is like breathe. breathe and let it happen.
Exactly, yeah. Elsewhere backstage, we've got Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And Charlotte just laying into Dana Brooke. Like, I was not expecting this.
My legacy.
Well, because here's my thing. Here's my whole deal.
You're my assistant.
Charlotte, after her match, after she lost to Paige,
shine my shoes.
She was not worried at all about losing the match because she was still the champion. But she says now, if Dana Brooke fails the way she did tonight on Sunday, she might be on the Dunzo list.
Oh.
So I think she really does care about that W.
Yeah. And don't think for a second that Charlotte doesn't have at least 2 to 3 other people in the stable chomping at the bit.
She's got a bullpen. She's got a bullpen.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen Emma for a little bit.
Right.
You know, Emma isn't much of a second string, but she could fake it to get, you know, push over. I mean, what are some other... Summer Rae. I guess she could have Summer Rae come out.
Oh, Miss Summer Rae.
Yeah.
Miss Summer Rae.
She's very sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah, she said, Charlotte really lays into her, says, you failed up to being the champ's assistant. And then corrects herself and says, protege. Mm-hmm. But I think, you know, she said what she meant, and she meant what she said.
She did indeed. And just... I just hope Dana understands and takes that to heart, because like when someone tells you who they really are, believe them the first time.
Exactly.
Do that. But hey, if she stays around, that's on her. We'll see. I mean, we already kind of had when they were doing was it the contract signing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already kind of had that where Dana was like, oh hey, a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Right.
Maybe I need to think this. No, I don't need to think this over. I'm in the right team.
Exactly. Well, Dana Brooke, one of our favorite members of the new era. But speaking of the new era, one person that has a huge problem with that era is the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. He takes on Zack Ryder. We get a nice little flurry of offense from Ryder. We get a missile dropkick off the apron. We get a pair of broski boots, an elbow drop from the top rope. Yeah. Always beautiful. But just an absolutely gorgeous reversal to finish this match. He goes for the Rough Rider. Sheamus launches him over his head into the turnbuckle, hits the bro kick for the win.
Man, once again, it's like, oh, you like shoes? Here's a boot.
Here's one. Yeah. Here's a huge one.
Oh, man.
For your face.
That was so solid. Mm-hmm. Such a nice, solid hit. And I like Ryder. I liked seeing him on the go home.
Right, absolutely.
It's like great, especially since they were doing, 6-man, not doing 7.
Sure.
Although it was interesting with like the little promos that they were doing of other Money in the Banks, and they kept on saying, Orton. I'm like,
that's a good point.
Yeah, Orton. But then they also said it's a definite 6-man. It's a 6-man.
Right.
All right. I miss you, Orton.
I know. He'll be back soon enough. Talking about impulse control. I completely lost my train of thought, guys. Bear with me. Sheamus, after the match, just really laying it into Zack Ryder. I mean, once again, letting his anger get the best of him. But of course, we've got Apollo Crews making that save, flashing them pearly whites.
Oh, man. And he was like a road runner coming down that ramp. Right. It's like you blink and then he's in the ring. It's like it was practically a Wyatt thing.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, there he is.
He's on Sheamus.
There's a go.
Oh, Sheamus can't take it. Sheamus out. Yeah. So I like this. I like that. It's a rivalry that can work for me. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and give it some more teeth.
Exactly.
Let's see where it goes. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about it is that you can also ride that train of other wrestlers that are like, yeah, you know what, Sheamus, I hate the new era too.
Right.
Let's both of us pile on this guy.
Right.
Let's do this.
Exactly. It's just the new blood. For all y'all that were there during the not so great dying years of WCW, very, very similar. New blood. Guys like Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo and guys that are now old timers were previously new booty. Ooh. And so now this is kind of
new booty.
It all comes full circle.
That's terrifying.
It's,
10 years ago today, ECW started on Sci-Fi.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, and that's back when it was spelled right? Ooh.
Oh, that's right. Right. Oh, man.
SCI.
Yeah. Back in the days of the zombie, when they were trying to make it a little bit more sci-fi oriented. Regardless, we've got Corporate Kane and Shane McMahon backstage. Kevin Owens interrupts. He just straight up rats out Alberto Del Rio for being late to the show. But then we find out that he sicked Homeland Security on maybe not Homeland Security, maybe just airport security. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
airport
TSA.
security on Del Rio makes him 5 hours late.
Okay, this is a real thing. Do not do that.
You know?
That's really bad. That's horrible. Oh my no.
Yeah.
Especially because he's a minority. So and you're already doing that. I'm surprised he made it at all.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
But it was only 5 hours.
5 hours is normal. Not being told on normal.
But
if they pick them out.
of course, Del Rio barges in at a perfect opportune moment. We get a huge argument. We've got Spanish on one side, French, Quebecois on the
And
other.
he's already got his shirt off. Well done.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, we've got two bilingual competitors going at each other in their native tongue. And Kane proposes a little bit of team building, being a former tag team specialist.
And being evil.
Being evil, of course.
Team building is evil.
Being a part of Team Hell No, knowing the importance of therapy, he suggests a little team building exercise. He says that in his mind, KO and ADR can team up, take on the Lucha Dragons with their spots in the Money in the Bank ladder match on the line. So if the Lucha Dragons win, that means Kalisto and Sin Cara advance to the Money in the Bank match, and Alberto Del Rio and Kevin Owens are out.
Yeah, which is just plain evil to do because they've been working all this time towards. They're a week out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna swing my demon around right now because I have no stake in this game."
Right.
And it's like, yeah, so you might lose it in the 11th hour to the Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, and Shane loves the idea, and he decides to roll with it. So we've got that later on tonight. But we've got Sami Zayn versus Cesaro one-on-one coming up, and if you've seen their matches in NXT before, you know this is absolute magic.
Oh wow!
I mean, if you haven't
good.
seen their 2 out of 3 falls match, please stop this right now and go watch that. We'll be right here waiting, I promise. But that just whenever they get together, it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh my God, that finishing move. Can't we just talk about the finishing
Let's
move?
talk about that finish.
Oh.
See, usually obviously Sami Zayn uses that haluva kick in the corner, but we see a high impact Yoshi tonic, and just Cesaro takes that the way that nobody else can.
My God, the both of them together. I want to watch them do moves like that all the time, like gymnasts.
Exactly.
They're like beautiful. It was like they were underwater. They were underwater and they executed it perfectly. And you even saw Zayn's face after they landed. He's like, yes,
so psyched.
and it's just like you were happy to just see it. I'm jealous of New Orleans for being able to be in that arena and seeing that up close.
Of course.
Because that's something that's like you can't see that on a phone. That has to be with your eyes. Oh, man.
Next up, we've got the contract signing for the match that's 15 years in the making. John Cena taking on the phenomenal AJ Styles. We've got that contract signing. Cena tells Michael Cole we're going to do things a little bit different. What he means. There we go. And this time we are on subject.
We're on subject. Subject on time.
And he explains that he's got 2 contracts in front of him. He's got one for John Cena versus AJ Styles and one for John Cena versus AJ Styles, parentheses, with the club. Basically, like the implication here being, look, I know it's going to be a handicap match if you bring your boys down to ringside. So what's it going to be?
It's like, I'm going to put it on paper that you can't show your ass this time.
Right.
So it's like, you're going to be straight with me, and none of this other stuff is going to happen.
And
in fact,
he
he called them out.
Yeah.
He called them out on the mic. What did he say? I forget exactly. I just remember
there's
yelling
a
at my
lot
screen.
of bullet talk. He says he cemented his role, or he might cement his role as the leader of the Bitch Club.
There we go.
If he picks that second option.
That was Cena.
Yep.
I was like, all right. Okay, Cena.
But Cena knows how to get into AJ Styles' head. He knows that AJ Styles is looking for that win over this like unattainable God King, basically. He's spent years and years and years everywhere but WWE, but now he's got a chance to rectify that and beat the face that runs the place one-on-one.
Yeah, but the thing of it is like what I said before, there's a whole thing about breathe. It's like, would it mean anything to you if you actually won it because the club was in there too?
Right.
No, it shouldn't. it shouldn't mean something. Although there's no asterisk next to a W.
This is true. This is true. A win's a win.
But still, it's like in here, you got to have it just you.
Exactly. And Cena runs down his accomplishments, even name drops Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, name drops PWG, names drops Ring of Honor, name drops New Japan Pro Wrestling. Basically everywhere but that place which shall not be named, where AJ Styles really made his name. You know, no need to mention those. Everyone else, we can talk about them till we're blue in the face. That's fine.
New Japan for all days.
New Japan, ROH, PWG, all of that. But not that one particular place, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
someone in the chat room was like, except for, we're not.
Exactly.
Stops.
What's that?
I said where the action never stops.
Exactly. But this was awesome stuff. I mean, I love the verbal sparring between these two icons of such disparate worlds.
I enjoyed it. And Cena had to kind of pump the well a second with the, was it John Cena, AJ Styles?
Yeah, let's go Cena,
Let's
AJ
go
Styles.
Cena, AJ Styles. Like before, it just happened organically because people have been waiting for this, and it's finally here. It's like, hey, we've read your diaries.
Right.
Yeah, so here you go. I really hope that they do it in a right way. Right.
And so we'll as we'll get to at the end of the segment, AJ Styles ends up signing the contract without the Bullet Club. So theoretically, we'll get a interference-free match one-on-one. Who knows?
Yeah, but then what does that contract really mean when it comes down to it?
This is true. The one thing I did wonder when he signed that is how barring is that? Is that literally barring Gallows and Anderson from ringside?
If Stephanie and Shane didn't say it, if Stephanie and Shane didn't say it, then it can still happen. Because we don't want AJ, breaking his word or whatever, but then he also didn't want to pick up that chair before, and then he was, dancing the Midnight Fantastic with it all over Roman,
I like that.
Later. So I don't know.
We'll see.
It might just be paper with some ink on it.
It could be. Contracts are not necessarily completely binding in the world of pro wrestling, as we know. We'll see in 6 days. Next up, we've got tag team action. The Lucha Dragons taking on Kevin Owens and ADR. A nice little tease here. It looked for a hot little second like Kalisto and Sin Cara could make it into the ladder match. Yeah. We saw a lot of miscommunications between KO and ADR.
KO trying to leave at a certain point. It's like, wait, so you don't care? It's like, you care. We know you care.
A little bit. But eventually, that pop-up powerbomb comes out of nowhere, just like it always does. KO and ADR barely hang on to their spots in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Man, I loved when Kalisto got Soul on...
Oh, the Salida del Sol, of course.
Yeah, when he got that on ADR, and it was just like, whoa, wait.
Right?
Ooh,
could it?
Yeah, because it looks like ADR is the only one that's really in this match, and... I don't know. They would never make a good tag team. We'll just say that.
Of course.
Like, by the skin of their teeth, they held on to their actual slots for Money in the Bank.
Sure. We get a little bit of a video message from The Miz, from the Intercontinental Champion, on set of the Marian 5, saying, you know what? You guys tear it up in the ring. I'm going to tear it up on this set. Continue being a movie star. So on and so forth.
Yeah. And, just so you know, Intercontinental is not up for grabs because I'm holding on to it.
Exactly.
Just letting you know.
While we make this movie, it's fine.
Yeah. So enjoy your little spats, gentlemen.
Exactly. Next up, we've got Kevin Owens backstage with Stephanie McMahon. He is furious that apparently Sami Zayn will be on commentary for tonight's main event of Ambrose versus Jericho. And so Stephanie says, you know what? Fine. You can be on commentary too. And you know what? Alberto Del Rio can be guest timekeeper.
Yeah.
We're just throwing everyone at ringside.
Yeah.
We'll
just have everybody there. Everybody's taking over. Go take a break. Go take a break, everybody else.
Exactly. Later on, we get Shane and Steph backstage, and Shane is kind of getting on her for letting all this power go to her head, making all these decisions.
There was more sibling rivalry in this one than we've seen.
Oh yeah.
In any of the past Raws.
Oh yeah. I think the closer we get to SmackDown, the more they're going to be at each other's throats.
Yeah.
We get one more person thrown at ringside because why not? Cesaro will be the guest ring announcer for tonight's main event. fine.
Okay.
They hash it out between them, and they realize that Kane might be a little bit psychotic, so maybe he's not the best choice for SmackDown GM, no matter how much bonding Shane McMahon has done with him.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this is my mate. We go and we have drinks and everything. He's crazy, right?
He's a little crazy.
I know he's crazy.
And so they break it to him. They try to do it as gently as possible. They say, you know what? We're looking for someone with a little bit more stability. And Kane, with the line of the night, goes, Shane, is this about the time I hooked a car battery up to your testicles? Because I thought we put that behind us.
It's like, oh, well, that didn't help you.
It didn't help
That did not help your case.
It wasn't that, but, it didn't help.
Yeah, it's like I actually blocked that, but thank you.
Just bringing up all sorts of bad memories.
Going back to therapy.
From a not-so-PG era. But then after Kane makes his exit, we find out that Shane says, you know what? You're not running SmackDown. We're going to continue co-running Raw, but I'm going to SmackDown.
I knew it.
So we'll see.
I knew it. I think I said it last week. I knew it.
I don't think that's a decision. I think that's a proclamation that Stephanie will have something to say about.
I think it's a good business decision, and it makes perfect sense, and it works. And he can still have, these fun, wacky guests that he brings on.
Sure.
Like Teddy. Have Teddy on some SmackDown.
Of course.
SmackDown Live. Kane. Oh my God, bring everybody.
Sure.
Have Mick come back.
Exactly.
Let's have him and Foley do something. So yeah, that'll work out.
Right. Next up, it's time for our main event. We've got Dean Ambrose taking on Chris Jericho, Cesaro as guest ring announcer, Alberto Del Rio's guest timekeeper, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are guest commentators.
I love ADR. Still hadn't found that shirt, or did my mind just apply him half naked?
No, that's he doesn't believe in him. That's fine.
No.
Of course, Chris Jericho bringing up recent history, getting in Dean Ambrose's face about 69 tacks. He landed on 69 tacks in the Ambrose Asylum match, slaps Dean in the face, and of course that's something you don't do, because then Dean Ambrose just goes to town, and we get an awesome match with some amazing commentary. Kevin Owens is such a bully, and I absolutely love it.
He was on fire.
Just mocking Sami Zayn literally every single way that he could possibly think of.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I want him on commentary more often, but I want him in the ring also.
Right,
so it's
exactly.
Just put him on a wireless and throw him in the ring.
Right.
Let's just do
if
that.
The Rock could commentate his own matches, let's let Kevin Owens do it. Or he could do it in post.
Yeah.
He could do his matches and then record the commentary later.
Hey, I'd watch it.
But just,
Have him have the Abraham Washington headset.
Abraham Washington. Speaking of ECW on Sci-Fi, one of my favorite personalities, with Tony Atlas as his sidekick. But let's get that headset in here. Let's multitask, guys. We're talking multitasking. But an amazing match. A suicide dive from Dean Ambrose. Chris Jericho just slamming the back of his head on that announce table.
Oof, yeah.
I mean, let's be careful around that announce table.
You felt really bad for the barricades and for
right, exactly.
Just okay.
A lot of brawling, a lot of roughnecking. I love that Cesaro is kind of like the dad of the ringside area, like the enforcer. It's like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get up, and then Cesaro's like, whoa, you sit down. You're on commentary. You sit down. And then Del Rio just wanders into the shot with a chair.
Yeah, he just walked out of. He's like, we might need this.
Right. Kevin Owens astutely observes that you need a hammer to ring the ring bell, not a chair. Although I guess you could, We get an awesome lion salt. We don't see enough of those these days. Beautiful lion salt, completely connecting on Dean Ambrose. So much back and forth during this finish.
Yeah, no, it was, and it's just everybody's involved. There's a little bit of everything. I mean, they had me before, but they definitely had me when Zayn and KO stand up, knock off the microphone. It's like, what?
Right.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
It's
you want to do it?
You feel froggy? Let's jump.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Exactly. But I mean, just so much back and forth during this finish. We get an absolutely awesome moment. Chris Jericho goes for the code breaker. Dean Ambrose stops him, throws him down, hits that dirty deeds for the 1, 2, 3. But of course, we know that with all these men at ringside, that can't be the end of it.
Of course not.
Kevin Owens immediately attacks him from behind.
Yeah, we get dessert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens attacks him from behind. One thing that happened during all of this chaos that please, whoever's watching this, if you make gifts, please make one of this moment. Cesaro hitting the springboard twisting European uppercut in a full suit.
Oh my God, it was
Keeping
gorgeous.
his glasses on.
It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was like a video game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like, Cesaro. Oh, that's why I love you.
Exactly.
That's why.
We get dives, we get ladders. Yeah, Sami Zayn coming off the top onto everyone. But of course, Chris Jericho is the last man standing, runs up that ladder, grabs the briefcase, and just chills with his legs crossed on top of the ladder, like he's about to have some tea.
Yeah, because KO had to just bring a ladder in because,
Exactly.
hey, it was stage decoration and, decoration's up for grabs.
Exactly, of course.
Yeah, and how interesting would it be, since Jericho's the one that basically, all the Money in the Bank started because of him,
Right.
for him to actually win
To
one.
finally win one, exactly.
Yeah, although I don't think he needs it as
Right.
much as other wrestlers would, but that would be a really nice thing to bring into the new era.
Sure.
Kind of like, tip to the hat to, I don't want to call it the old era.
Right.
Right. The era before the new era.
Yeah, I mean,
Pre-new?
really, Chris Jericho was kind of one of the last stalwarts of the Attitude Era, debuting in '99. So even though he ages pretty well, he's been around longer than you think.
Yeah, he does. And, I don't know, maybe it's all those stupid idiots. It's kind of like,
love it.
Dorian Gray with the painting.
Exactly.
He just has to keep on
There's
putting
a portrait
that
of
negativity out there.
Y2J somewhere out there that's aging. But that is our Monday Night Raw. That is our go home for Money in the Bank. We've got it coming up this Sunday, coming to you from Las Vegas. Let's run down the card super quick.
Yes.
On the pre-show, we've got Dolph Ziggler taking on Baron Corbin. Chapter 84. It's fine. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not done with it yet. I mean, they've each had nut shots for each side.
Sure.
You know? So, that's pretty even.
Right.
Let's say that doesn't have to happen anymore.
Sure.
But if they bring it in, I
knows?
wouldn't mind seeing Ziggler pull one through.
Exactly. We've got Sheamus taking on Apollo Crews. We covered that earlier. Do we think Apollo Crews is going to pull off the upset?
I think Apollo Crews would be able to. I mean, there's nothing really riding on the line with it.
Right.
And I think Sheamus needs to be taken down a peg.
Sure, of course.
Although it's a total possibility that Apollo might get, pinned and then be able to bring it back afterwards.
Right.
Depending on the kind of wrestler he is. If he gets his fire kicked up, if he's the one that's like, no, and then he just feels really bad about it.
Fighting spirit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've got tag team action. Charlotte and Dana Brooke taking on Becky Lynch and Natalya.
Well, I still feel like... wait, are we doing predictions right now? And
Sure.
we're just doing it?
Sure.
Yeah, Jim.
Let's get some quick predictions.
We're doing predictions.
Yeah,
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
We don't usually do them, but it's a go-home Raw.
It's happening. Even after the match today, I still don't see Charlotte losing it.
Okay.
Not to Natalya. Wait. No, this isn't a title thing.
No,
this is
this
just
is
a tag
team.
This is just a tag team. All right. Then, yeah, Charlotte's going to bite it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
she's
think
gonna go down.
Dana Brooke's going to cause it?
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking.
I would like that, but I think no matter what, she's going to blame Dana.
Sure. Of
some
course.
way.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It'd be nice if Dana turned on her during this. I've had it, walk out.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Sure.
But yeah, Charlotte's going to bite it this time.
There you go.
Hey, why am I doing all the predictions? What do you think?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Dana Brooke is going to cause the loss. I don't think she's going to turn on her just yet. I think we'll get maybe a month or two more of that before Dana Brooke goes full Alex Riley and just completely murks Charlotte and everyone loses their minds. But I mean, I can't really see a face Dana Brooke, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, no.
Next up, we've got Rusev defending the U.S. title against Titus O'Neil. As much as I would love to see Titus as U.S. champion, I think they're just too invested in rebuilding Rusev after the League of Nations. I think we're gonna see him pull it out.
Yeah, I mean 6 years. 6 years, Titus?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's too early. I mean, the Bulgarian brute still has some more, in him.
Right.
I would like to see Titus holding that.
Sure.
I mean, if there's going to be a title that changes hands, I'd love for that one to happen. But yeah,
Right.
Rusev.
Since we know the Intercontinental title won't be on the line, obviously with The Miz being on set, on location. Next up, we've got The New Day defending the tag team titles against Enzo and Cass, the Vaudevillains, and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Club.
This is the worst one.
Right?
This really is. I really hate it when they have it where, tag team people is like, hey, someone else can lose it for you.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, because 1 month away. 1 month
so
away.
So close.
I'm gonna keep on saying New Day with this.
I think they're holding on.
I think SummerSlam, totally different story.
Of course.
I think they're gonna retain.
Yeah,
it's gonna be close.
It'll be very close,
so
very close. But I agree. I think they'll hold on.
Oof.
Of course, we've got one-on-one action: John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Oh. Ooh.
What do you think? What do you think? Cena wins, lol.
Ooh. Cena wins, lol. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you know what. I'm gonna go with AJ. I'm gonna go with AJ.
I'm gonna go with Cena.
We'll see. And I think what will be even more interesting to see is how much or how little interference there is in this match.
Yeah.
Because the Club may or may not be barred from ringside. Who knows? Of course, we've got our 6-man Money in the Bank ladder match.
Is there any way it could be a no contest with that one, or is it everything's out?
I mean, it could be. There's no reason it can't.
Yeah.
It could be a double count out.
Some of them are. Ooh.
I think that the crowd would be furious.
I think
if that did happen.
No,
but weirder things
if there's
have
a tie,
happened.
we riot.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So who knows? Of course, we've got our 6-man Money in the Bank ladder match. We've got Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Alberto Del Rio, and Dean Ambrose. Who's taking this briefcase?
Oh, this is the one. Because it's like, who would it help more with the storyline? I want Ambrose to have it.
Sure.
I want that because I love just him sneaking around. Of course, he decorated.
Oh, sure.
In his own way. Maybe put Rollins' face on it with the eyes cut out.
There you go.
That kind of a
exactly.
thing. But then Rollins would be one of the best possible choices for this, to have him have Money in the Bank.
Who's it?
Wait. No, I'm confusing my matches.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head like, oh my God, that'd be awesome if Rollins had
Again. Of course.
because he cashed it so wonderfully.
Sure.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go with Ambrose because I love that whole Shield thing, and I think they're gonna push the Shield thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
So I'm going with Ambrose for that one.
Now, do we think it's going to be an immediate cash in during that main event that night?
He doesn't have any impulse control.
Right.
I think he would do a taunt kind of thing with it.
Like act like he's going to, but just say,
know
what?
I think he would do maybe
I could do this if I wanted to.
half as much as Rollins did towards Reigns when he first came back.
Okay,
let's say even a quarter of that, because that was so long and annoying. So like a quarter of that taunt.
There you go.
Yeah, but I want to see Ambrose with that Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking that's where we're heading. I'm thinking Sami Zayn, I think, will be just that close, and then Kevin Owens will somehow screw him out of it.
Yeah,
and that blood feud will continue.
Although that's the second choice, Kevin Owens would own
that'd be phenomenal.
briefcase.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
Just absolutely insufferable.
I still want Ambrose to have it.
Yes. Now let's talk main event action. Oof. Roman Reigns defending the title against Seth Rollins. Does the big dog retain?
I think he retains.
Yeah.
I think there's just too much buildup with the Roman Empire.
Sure.
I mean, Rollins is fresh back. Yes, he's healed, but there can be so much more buildup. Mm-hmm. And I think that Rollins has more traction with that buildup than Reigns would.
Right.
So I have to go Reigns with that, if only because Rollins going to have all of this behind him to then take us up into SummerSlam.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm thinking Dean Ambrose will take the briefcase. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking his musical hit. We'll think there's a cash in about to happen. Rollins will be distracted. We'll see a Superman punch. We'll see a spear. The big dog will retain.
And then Ambrose comes out of the crowd and takes down Reigns.
That would be great. That would be great. I'm thinking Dean Ambrose he's just going to use that music and hold on to that briefcase. Mm-hmm. But who knows? And then I think SummerSlam, I think we might see a cash in. And then we'll finally see that Shield triple threat that everyone's been fantasy booking for 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
So we'll see. Guys, make sure to tune in next week for the post Money in the Bank Raw. Same bat time, same bat channel. Your man Johnny LaCosta will be here in his normal spot. But thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ty Matthews. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. Markeia McCarty, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Markeia McCarty, Markeia McCarty, or Snapchat, Darth Thin Mints. And I'll be doing Sailor Moon Crystal in about half an hour, so you might as well come and check us out on that.
There you go. And I myself will be doing Houdini and Doyle in about an hour and a half. You can check me on that. You can check me on American Ninja Warrior on Wednesdays and Lucha Underground on Thursdays. If you're on iTunes, remember, download, comment, review, subscribe, rate us, 5 stars if you're nasty, all that good stuff. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. We know you love wrestling. We love wrestling. So let's all love wrestling together and let's talk about it.
Oh, it's so fun.
But guys, till next week, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.